Shalom, Shalom, and Shalawam. I am making this video because I am on a 2-month countdown until my second trip to Ghana. I am so excited. And so in that time, I realized that I did not upload to YouTube, although I did document on Instagram, but I did not upload to YouTube any photos or videos about the trip. So I thought now would be a good time to go ahead and compile those things and share with you guys what my first trip there was like. I want to give the disclaimer that there may be some background noise in my videos. It's not going to be perfect. I'm doing voiceover because so many of my images are just that, images and not video, because the vlogging thing, it's not something that comes very natural to me, so I'm getting there. But in any case, yeah, I'm a mom, I'm a grandmother, I'm a wife, and I'm in a house with multiple other people. So yeah, if you hear some sounds, you're going to hear some sounds, but I know that you can hear me better. So let's get it going. So here we are. This was the trip that was going to Ghana, May 17th, 2022. My mom right there in the middle. Oh, my precious mommy. My trip this year will be going back to see her for her birthday in August. We'll be leaving at the end of July. But anyway, we're focused on the first trip. So it was my mom. She was moving. This was her trip to Ghana to actually move there. She was having a house built, and we were accompanying her for her transition. And so the rest of us, myself, my sister, my nephew, and my son, were going with her to stay with her for 2 weeks. And so we went with a tour group called Pride of Ghana Tours, who was amazing. And we had an awesome time. But my mom was moving and the rest of us were coming kind of like tourists. That's definitely how it felt. But yeah, so my mom is Karen in Ghana. She is chronicling her adventures and her journey in Ghana. She's living in the central region. She moved to the Pan-African village in Asebu, and follow her, please, at Karen in Ghana. Subscribe to her. She's doing awesome things. And yeah, so here we are at RDU Airport, getting ready to leave from Raleigh, North Carolina, and head to DC, and then we will be going from there to Accra. So this is the plane taking off. This is only my second flight I've ever been on in my life. I'd flown somewhere about 20 years prior, but nothing compared to this. And this was definitely my first international trip. So it was a lot of unexpected. This first plane was very small compared to the, I guess, 747 maybe that we took to get across the ocean. And you could definitely feel the difference when we were riding in the big plane. It was very smooth and, it just felt sturdy, stable. But with this one, it felt like being like in a toy airplane or a paper airplane that someone had threw in the sky. So it was very interesting feeling. So here we are. Ta-da! Just like that, we were in Accra, Ghana. And by just like that, I mean 11 hours later. But we had arrived, we stepped foot off the plane and into the airport, and I was just, super grateful. But before I could get to the point of, phew, we made it, there was just so much. Like, I'd never experienced international travel. I'd never experienced people having to look at my passport and look at my documents and just getting in. Other people were having problems and were having these back and forth conversations with the um, immigration and all of that stuff. So we made it to that point, and then once we were here, we're at the baggage claim waiting for our bags to come out, which was taking forever. So I don't know if you could see the stress in my posture, but it sure was there. But we eventually got everything we needed, and Pride of Ghana Tours was right outside the airport waiting to pick us up, and from there we had smooth sailing. I also want to pause here and take the time to say that Pride of Ghana Tours was so wonderful. Our trip, from the time that we got there, they, I mean, it was, it wouldn't have been the same if we hadn't gone with them. And I don't want to take a whole lot of time and ramble on, but they made our experience such a beautiful one. We felt like family being with them. Mohammed and Akani were extremely knowledgeable, helpful, patient, accommodating, creative. And I'm just so grateful that we had the opportunity to do our tour with them. And so it's been a year now since we've been there, but I'm sure that their business has grown exponentially since then. But I just wanted to shout them out because we had such a wonderful experience traveling with them, being shown around Ghana, learning the history of Ghana, and just doing things that we would have never even thought to do if it wasn't for them. So that's my sister and my brother now, no matter what. So I just wanted to throw that in there. So this is a view of the Airbnb that we stayed at for the first 3 or 4 days in a neighborhood of Accra called Cantonments. It was a nice Airbnb. It did have, some issues, but that's neither here nor there. But we had a decent enough stay there. So this was technically, as far as the calendar goes, day 2, but I'm considering it still day 1 because I didn't really go to bed. I slept on the plane because our flight was an overnight flight. But I was still in the same clothes and I hadn't actually gone to bed, so I'm still calling it day 1. So this was after we had our lunch and we stopped here to drop our things off, get settled in. My mom and my sister and my nephew decided to stay and rest, but me and my son Xavion decided we was going to go ahead and go with the rest of the planned um, tour or sites of that day. So we went to Aburi National Park. And it was a beautiful place, just nature and trees and history. We had a really good tour guide who gave us information about the plants that we saw there and their relevance to the area and to Ghana. So you'll see more of that coming up.
Yes, so we call it tree of life. It's all about life. What it means is this: life is not easy everywhere you find yourself in the whole world. You have to work very hard. If you always want the easiest way to make money, number one is either you die. Number two, one day you find yourself in a prison. So the tree has built for us to understand how life is all about. When
Touch it. I want to get video. Oh, slide.
just touch it well. You see that the wind? Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
Very
Wow.
sensitive. So our people used to say that, old lady, close your legs, your husband is coming. That's what we used to say.